A very good afternoon to all our viewers and welcome to your lunchtime news coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Joel Outskoon. Let's first take a look at what's making headlines this afternoon. Distribution of ballot papers for the presidential elections to commence on the 20th of this month. 73 complaints lodged ahead of the presidential elections. And on News Overseas, Obama on torture report says US won't make those mistakes again. And on sports, Sachitra Senanaika included in the 12-man squad for today's match. Let's now take a look at these stories in detail. First up in some election news. The Election Secretariat says that ballot papers for the presidential elections will be distributed on the 20th of this month. Additional Elections Commissioner U. Amardas said that the ballot papers will thereby be handed over to the post office on the 20th. The distribution of ballot papers will be conducted until the 31st of December. Additional Elections Commissioner U. Amardas said that in an event a voter does not receive his or her polling card by the 31st, that they could obtain it at their nearest post office by confirming their identity. U. Amardas meanwhile said that postal ballot paper packets will be issued on the 15th of this month. He went on to note close to 600,000 postal voting applications have been received. Well, now, according to the Election Secretariat, 73 complaints of election law violations have been received ahead of the upcoming presidential elections. The Secretariat noted that they had received 59 complaints on minor incidents and 14 complaints on incidents of election violence.
Incidents which cause loss of life or injury, shootings and the levelling of death threats are among the complaints on incidents of election violence. The use of government properties and government workers for election campaigning, arbitrary transfers and the illegal display of posters, cutouts and other propaganda material are among the minor complaints received by the Secretariat. The highest number of complaints, standing at 9, has been reported from the Colombo district. Meanwhile, 2 complaints each have been received from the Gampa and Kaluthara districts, which 6 complaints have been received from the Kandy district. 5 complaints have been received from Kurunegala, while 4 complaints each have been received from Putlam and Anuradhapura.
Well, election monitors complain that illegal propaganda materials such as campaign notices, posters and cutouts have not been removed as yet. Executive Director of the CAFE organization, Kirti Thenakon, said that these campaign materials should have been removed after nominations were handed over on the 8th of December. However, he said that the police had not taken any action regarding this as yet.
The police have not taken steps to remove cutouts or posters subsequent to the handing over of nominations. It is clear that the police are not making an effort to take action against those who violate election laws. The CAFE organization has received a total of 69 complaints. 9 complaints were related to the use of firearms. What surprises us is that action has been taken only in 2 of these 9 incidents.
Meanwhile, the residence of a UNP member of the Pathadumbara Pradesh Sabha, Atula Bandara Ekanaika, has been attacked by a group of thugs. Our reporter said that the incident occurred at around 12:30 last night when the group inflicted damages to the windows of the house. The Vategama police have commenced investigations into the incident. The residence of a UNP supporter in the Abanthan area, which comes under the purview of the Katugastha Police Division in Kandy, was also attacked by a group of thugs. The incident occurred at about 1:15 am today. The Katugastha Police are investigating the attack. A van carrying a group of people who were returning from common opposition candidate Maithripala Sirisena's campaign rally in Kandy was attacked in Katugastha last night. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rona said that the attack took place at around 9:30 last night. 3 people have been injured in the attack and have been admitted to the Bukkavala hospital. The police media spokesperson added that the suspects have not been identified thus far.
Well, news from the President's diary this afternoon. President Mahinda Rajapaksa has returned to the country after visiting the Tirumala Venaskar Hindu temple in the town of Tirupati in India.
The President was accompanied by Tissatha Nayaka for the early morning religious ceremony at the Hindu temple. Reuters reported that security at the temple and in the town of Tirupati had been heightened in view of President Rajapaksa's visit.
Well, now the election stage is heating up. Let's take a look at the views expressed by several politicians ahead of the presidential elections.
The former General Secretary of the United National Party came forward and joined hands with the President by greeting him with betel leaves. The President, while addressing the people opposite the election secretariat, made an interesting statement. He said he can send off General Secretaries as well as get General Secretaries, and that it is a simple thing for him to do. From the 18 candidates contesting with Mahinda Rajapaksa, Maithripala Sirisena is the only common candidate who can defeat him. Today, Mahinda Rajapaksa does not have any area with a decent voter base. When the UNP General Secretary crossed over on the day of nominations, the opposition's conspiratorial operation collapsed. The UNP today has a riddle to solve. It is something I saw in the paper and realized. Today the people's votes are based on rupees and cents. It is a brand of politics which targets the elections and distributes items and various other benefits. This kind of politics which gave periodical benefits is not an epidemic which started spreading just recently. With the election at hand, they have reduced utility bills by 25%. They have also reduced the prices of petrol and diesel. So this gambling is functioning from top to bottom.
Nelson
Mandela was imprisoned for 26 years, and after he was released, he was elected as the leader of the country. If he really wanted to, he could have remained as the president of the country. But he didn't. He served just one term in office. His party, however, insisted that he remain as president. But he rejected those calls. He served just one term and went back to his hometown and relaxed. I feel that this is a good lesson for President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Well, the JVP staged a political awareness campaign in the Anuradhapura town this morning.
The aim of this campaign was to create awareness on the country's political situation. The country is moving towards a dictatorial rule. Do not allow this dictatorial rule to take over. We as the JVP have decided to make you aware of this. We are working to bring about national unity by abolishing the executive presidency and creating good governance in order to establish democracy in the country.
Well, 2 wild elephants were killed after they collided with the night mail train plying from Colombo Fort to Jaffna. The incident had occurred when the night mail train plying from Colombo Fort to Jaffna collided with a herd of wild elephants in the Kasikote area between the Ambanpola and Galgamu train stations. The Galgamu Wildlife Office stated that the deceased elephant calves were about 3 years of age. The railway control room stated that the train services along the northern line were hampered due to the incident, and that the situation was brought back to normal at around 5:30 this morning. Well, moving on to more local news now. 2 people were killed, including a 1.5-year-old infant, in a motor accident involving a van and a lorry in Radhavatuna, Nithambua.
According to the police, 11 others sustained injuries in the accident which took place at around 2 this morning. The injured are receiving treatment at the Kegol and Varakapolo hospitals. The victims, both deceased and injured, were those travelling in the van. The driver of the lorry has been arrested.
Well, starting off sports news this afternoon, speaking to Sports First Chairman of the National Selection Committee, Sanat Jayasuri, stated that Sachitra Senanayake has been included in the 12-man squad that will square off against England in the 5th ODI today. Incidentally, while England have played 3 T20s at Pallekele, this is the first time that they will be playing an ODI at the stadium.
Today's match will get underway at 2:30 p.m. local time and will be worked off as a day and night match. If Sri Lanka wins today's match against England, Sri Lanka will clinch an unassailable 4-win lead in the 7-match series. Due to Rangana Herath's injury, rookie Sachitra Senanayake has been included in today's squad. Meanwhile, England captain Alastair Cook is set to return after being banned from the 4th ODI for maintaining a slow over rate. Cook is likely to return in place of Alex Hales, while off-spinner James Treadwell could come in for Ben Stokes.